Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Allison Bedell.
Can you see?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
We're back. Here we are. I'm Skip Bedell.
I'm Allison Bedell.
And thank y'all for coming back to Hammer and Nails podcast on this Memorial Day weekend.
It is a very big Memorial Day weekend. Beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was looking up the word memorial online, and it says that it's something established to remind people of a person or event. So with that in mind, in the spirit of Memorial Day weekend, I figured I would put together some pieces of other episodes that have some funny stories and also something to represent Tip Tuesday.
Tip Tuesday!
Because it is Tip Tuesday.
Absolutely. And of course, today on Memorial Day, we honor all the men and women, all the great soldiers that have paid the ultimate price defending our country, our great nation, and of course our freedom. If not for them, we wouldn't have our freedom. So we owe everything to them and their memory. And we celebrate that today. And, of course, speaking of memory...
We wouldn't have a Memorial Day for me to make reference to with our podcast.
Yes. I think it had a little more significance than that, but yeah, okay.
So with that in mind, I perused a number of different podcasts, which is painstaking because there's so many of them. We're up to number 95 right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I cannot believe it. So with that, I picked out some stuff that I thought was funny.
I think we're up to like 13 listeners now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are new listeners, I know for a fact that we have some new ones. You guys can go back in time and listen to some of the older ones. There is some funny
I'm
stuff
just kidding.
back there.
We have the best fans and listeners and people that appreciate our podcast from all over the land. And we want to thank everybody for listening to us and just supporting us, man. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. So with that being said, here's some fun stuff for you to listen to. We hope you enjoy.
Have fun.
I was also thinking that we should probably talk about our long weekend because we had a really exciting weekend going to California.
We did. We went back to Cali.
Cali.
And,
Cali.
We had a good weekend.
I was trying to get the...
Try it again. Good.
We went back to Cali. Cali.
I don't think so.
Dumbass.
I don't think so.
So we had this flight, and it was just blowing my mind. The flight attendant on one of the flights that we took this weekend, it was exactly what you would picture when if you're listening to somebody who recorded something.
Oh, he's like
but
the voiceover
guy.
Right,
yeah.
right. I remember.
So, right. So it was like. Everything that he said was very animated.
Well,
like,
picture this: like if you
like a Broadway
you heard the guy from like Movie Phone. Hello, and thank you for
Movie Phone.
Thank you for calling Movie Phone.
Yeah.
Tonight's feature presentations is
yeah.
And he was like,
so please place your luggage above your head with the wheels in or wheels out.
Be courteous
not
to
side
other
side.
passengers.
And make sure that you take out all of the garbage from the pocket in front of you.
I wanted to punch this guy in the face so badly.
It blew my mind.
I wanted
That's
to find
how he
it.
spoke.
See, at first I thought it was a recording
Right.
because no one could possibly. This
Right.
is like when you call something and you get the automated message. There's people that's all they do,
Yeah.
voiceover work, and they get paid to make those recordings because they articulate their words very well. You know, they basically say it really clean and clear so anyone can understand
But
it, right?
he was
But it's, no one speaks like
He
that
was
naturally.
like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
It was like, and he
Yeah.
looked like, did you see it, like the helmet hair?
No. Oh my God! Yeah,
Right?
no, I never saw him, but I could totally see him having like the hairspray
Yes.
helmet head.
Yes. That's what he looked like.
Perfectly like manicured.
Yeah.
You know, probably goes home to like he's got mom making him a bowl of soup.
Right.
You know, at the Bates Motel.
Right. In a few minutes, we will be coming down the aisle to take your drink requests. And if you would like to purchase a set of headphones, please let us know because they're available for $5.
Oh my God!
I couldn't fucking believe it.
Oh my God! I was like, where
And I've
is
been
I was
on a
like,
lot of
where is this
flights.
guy? I need to kick him in the nuts. I need if I kick him in the nuts hard enough, maybe his voice will change somehow.
Oh, I couldn't stand
I'm going to
it.
ruin his whole microphone flight attendant career.
I can't stand it.
They're going to give the job to somebody else.
I just want to let everybody know this, too, because I think people are missing something. Like, I guess they're not listening to the flight attendants. You know, they're, like, zoned out. But listen, people.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Wow.
Again, I know. I'm fucking really irresponsible.
Really? Like, can you shut that off?
I just did.
What?
When you get
just
on,
did it now.
Yeah.
So the first time wasn't enough for you to shut it off?
I know. Sorry.
Wow.
So when you get on a plane, okay, the overhead is for your rolling luggage. And your bags and jackets and soft-sided bags carrying things go under the seat in front of you, people. Your pocketbook doesn't go in the overhead. Your jacket doesn't go in the overhead.
Oh, my God. Now you just reminded me of what happened. So...
people.
Yeah. I got to tell everybody when we fly a lot, obviously, like ridiculous. Like we're probably in a plane more than we're on the ground. But... every time I get on a plane with you, you stress me out a little bit because you're like a bull in a fucking china shop. And when we get on the plane, you're like out of my way. I'm getting to my seat. Doesn't matter who's in the aisle. You will like push past them. They'll like go flying into the fucking like. To me, it's kind of like it's like it's a little bit like.
I have a routine.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's like a little too much though.
I'm usually the first one on the plane.
It's borderline rude, bitch. That chick. Like if someone did that to me, I'd be like, "What's up with you?"
I'm not rude. I'm always the first one on.
All right. Maybe not rude is not the right word, but it's like you have an agenda of your own, and if anyone gets in your way, it's like, all right, stay out of my fucking way.
Right.
So,
like, don't put your fucking luggage in front of row 6, and you are sitting in row 9. No, your fucking luggage goes above your row.
Exactly. So that happens all the time. And in this particular case, we were getting on the plane probably later than we usually get there early. We're like the first ones on the plane,
I know.
right?
I couldn't believe it. Both fucking flights.
So, yeah, so we were running late. We hit mad traffic on the 405 trying to get to the plane and everything.
And we still
in the
got
morning
to the
rush
gate
hour.
early
So anyway,
enough.
we get on the plane, and so we just get on the plane, and people are sitting in their seats, and so the only available thing is like
overhead space.
Overhead is maybe 1 or 2 rows behind us, which is a pain in the dick because when you get up and when you're getting off the plane, people are all in the aisle. Yeah. You can't get your bag.
You got to walk now backwards to get your shit, and that pisses me the fuck off.
Everybody wants off that plane.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the next thing I'm going to say because you getting off the plane, oh my God. Every time, as soon as, all right, here's what happened. The plane lands, right? You hear the brakes on the ground, right? Already, Bedell over here is like starting to unbuckle her seatbelt. She's starting to get all the shit. She has one ass cheek off the seat. There is usually only,
I want to be ready.
There's only half an ass on the seat as soon as the wheels touch the runway. By the time we taxi over and get to the jetway thing, the little elastic dildo that comes out and hooks up to the side of the plane, right? As soon as that thing hooks up and it suctions to the door and you hear ding, as soon as that ding happens, you are absolutely the first person out of your seat.
Yes.
And it's like, doesn't matter who at that point, it's like you have like a horse with blinders on.
Yes.
All you can see is the exit door. And it's like ripping the bags out of the overhead.
Yes.
Out of the way, motherfucker.
Yes.
Nope, that's my bag. Nope.
All right. First of all, let me explain the psychology to you.
I hear this. I get it. All I'm saying is from my side. Really?
Let me say it.
Well, keep smashing the table.
Let me say it. Let me say it.
What is that?
I'm trying to explain something to you, and you're still flapping your jibs.
You don't need to smash the table.
You don't need to keep flapping your jibs when I'm trying to interject.
How many times we got to keep talking about it? Stop hitting the fucking table and shut your phone off.
I got your attention.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Shut up.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to explain to you why half an ass cheek is out as soon as we hit the ground. Because, first of all, we are always at the window or middle seat. And when I'm not with you, I have the window. I need to like in a way of, without saying it, but showing the people that are next to me in the middle and aisle seat that my plan is to get up as soon as possible. And it is not up to you whether or not I'm going to get out into the aisle, because some people choose to continue to sit there and not get out of your way. I'm letting them know I'm coming.
Yeah, you're always in the middle. I'm on the window. You're in the middle. There's someone that's in the aisle that they need to get up first to let you out.
And if they don't get up, I'm getting out anyway.
A lot of times they don't get up first.
Right, so I'm letting them know.
Because you've already got the ass cheek off the seat.
Right.
And as soon
they know I'm going to rush.
As soon as the ding happens, unless they have razor fast reflexes like you do, they are still probably in their seat for maybe 1/10 of a second.
And I'm stepping on their lap.
1/10 of a second longer than
I'm holding onto their head and stepping on their lap.
That 1/10 of a second is like a fucking eternity for you. You're like, oh no, hold on, I'm going.
Yeah.
And you will literally crawl over their lap. So. Yeah. It's like, I'm like,
because you know what? I don't like the people trapping me in there and them thinking that it is up to them whether or not I get out of my seat.
Even though you heard the ding and your ass cheeks off the seat, from the time we get there and the ding goes off and everyone stands up, you're still a good 6-7 minutes until you get into the door. Where you're going to go?
I want my aisle space because there's only so much room. There's not enough room in the aisle for everybody.
Right.
I'm going to be one of those people in the aisle.
Which is why some people decide that are going to sit for a second until some people get out of their way.
Some people just have to keep sitting because they're not fast enough and they don't get their space.
I don't, for one, particularly care to be like fucking rubbing elbows and ass cheeks up against like all sorts of nasty, gnarly people. So I would, you know what? Get your shit, get out of my fucking way, and when you're out of my way, I'll get my thing and I'll get off the plane.
I want to get the fuck off the plane as fast as possible.
I realize that.
So I don't want to wait.
But just because you're in the aisle and have your bag now doesn't mean we're getting off the plane any sooner, right? You realize that.
Yes, but it also makes it different, though, that I get my spot in the aisle so I can get my shit out and onto the aisle.
I know in your mind it makes a difference, but trust me, we're not going to get off the plane a half a second faster.
I know that, but I'm standing and ready to start rolling.
Okay.
And what you were about to say, I know you're about to go into the whole thing with this fucking lady in the row behind us who put like her giant pocketbook in the overhead next to a suitcase.
I was all with you on that, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's limited space. We're getting on the plane toward the latter part of everyone getting on the plane, right? And you really shouldn't have a soft bag or whatever, a pocketbook or duffel bag, whatever that can fit under your seat. And they even tell you that. Only hard cases go in the overhead.
Keep announcing it over and over.
The rest of your stuff, be courteous to our other customers and put your other things underneath the seat in front of you.
So that there's more room for people to put their suitcases.
So we get there and we got our little roll-on hard case, travel bags or whatever,
size
right?
Suitcase.
Travel size that are designed to fit in the overhead.
Right.
And here's this lady's fucking Louis Vuitton fucking knapsack or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Right.
And so she would.
So now you proceed to put our bag 2 rows in back.
All right, but here's what you do. You come over and you grab her shit and you rip it out of the fucking thing, and her eyes got like, whoa. And she goes, hey, that's mine. And she got all fucking flipped out. Like, what are you doing? Don't touch my shit. And you were like, you just fucking pulled it. Boom, ripped it out.
And I said to her, this bag is supposed to go under the seat in front of you. This overhead is for suitcases.
And then you look at me, and you do the same thing like when we pull up to a fucking light and there's road rage going on, because you're not the one getting out and fucking throwing down with the dude next to us. It's going to be me. You're like, fuck you, asshole. And then he looks at me like, really, dude? Okay, all right. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
You know? So same thing. So you rip the fucking lady's fucking Gucci, whatever the fuck it was, out of the thing, and she flips out. That's my bag. What are you doing? Don't touch my shit. And you're like, well, it shouldn't be up here. And then you go, now put our bag in there. And you look at me, and I got the fucking thing. And the whole plane is looking at us, right? You can drop a dime in this way. I mean, you can hear a pin drop.
We should also mention,
and now put the bag in there. And the lady looks at me like, wow, man.
We were just in an hour of traffic sitting still.
Do you think that when you manhandled her fucking $900 fucking whatever it was, right, that she gave a shit about that we were in a traffic jam?
No, but I'm saying that's where my head was. I was already at the edge of my I was already there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know you very
stressing.
well. I know exactly what goes through your mind.
Yeah.
And I know that when you're on a mission, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
No one else knows that. No one else cares about the mission that you're on.
How you know
Nobody
me.
else understands that you don't. They don't care that you want to get off the plane, right? They don't. All they know is that you are now ripping their stuff out of the overhead. You're climbing over their lap. You are rolling your fucking luggage over their feet, right? Whatever it might be. And then everybody looks at me like, wow, dude, she's fucking nuts. And I'm like, what am I going to say? Yeah, she is nuts? No, it's my wife, so get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
So I have to, I am forced to think like you. And I'm like, yeah, get out of the way, motherfucker. You heard her. You know, and I'm like, you know me. If it were just me, I'd be like, oh, fuck it, let him go. Yeah. I don't care, because for me, an extra 10 seconds doesn't make a difference. But to you, we're wired differently. You're like, oh, no. I'm standing here 3 seconds longer because of this person. I'm going to climb over them. So, yeah, we're very different.
I have, this phobia of the people sitting in the aisle seat, of them, trying to impose their will on me and decide where and when I'm going to go. I don't like it. I want out, and that's my decision, and I'm not going to let them make it for me.
I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying
especially after sitting 6.5 hours or more.
There is a certain degree of,
can I tell you,
what do you want to call it? Airplane etiquette, possibly?
When we, I don't know, I don't even think you heard me, but when we landed and we were about to exit the plane, and I was reaching over our head 2 fucking rows in back of us to reach for our suitcase, I said to that lady, I said, I'm sorry I was such a bitch.
Yeah,
before.
I did hear you say that.
I said, I said I had a really bad weekend. My dog is really sick, and I just had a really bad day. And I said, and you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. What
was her response? I heard you say it, but I wasn't looking at her.
She said, "Oh, I hope your dog is
oh, did she?
Okay, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. I was a bitch, and I know it. And I said I was
sorry. You were a little bitchy,
and I meant it.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, there were degrees of your bitchiness. You were probably up toward the upper levels there for that.
Yeah, I was up in the red zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because even on a good day, you're a bitch, but like you were.
What the fuck?
What the fox? Like when you go into somebody's bathroom and you use the bathroom, use the toilet, and then you go to wash your hands, and they only have fancy towels in their half bathroom, like it's usually like downstairs, like the guest bathroom,
right?
And they only have fancy towels,
like the ones with like the patterns on it,
yeah,
or
the
monogram
silky.
of the family crest.
Yes. Where the fuck are you really supposed to dry your hands? Because sometimes
I just wave them around in the air a lot and just
why don't you have like a regular
pants.
towel, like maybe hanging off the edge of the sink or something? Because people don't really want people to use their nice towels, because even if you've just washed your hands, sometimes there's really grime maybe on your wrist or like under your nails that's going to come off onto the fancy towels.
Right.
And you really probably don't really want to ever even wash the fancy towels because they'll never look the same again.
Right. Especially with all the fanciness on them.
Yeah, it's like, how many people really wash the fancy towels?
You don't want to mess up the fancy towel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like one good hand wiping with something dirty left on your hands is going to really make a mess, and they'll never be the same.
It's funny you brought that up, because just very recently I was in a place and went into someone's bathroom in their house, and they had beautiful towels, and they had like some sort of like Thanksgiving style, like fall looking leafy embroidery thing on it. It's like fall season. So this is obviously a person that, decorates,
seasonally.
Change of the season if they're changing their towels, that's, they're one of those. So, yes, number one, I didn't want to wipe my hands on them because it's like, they're
that they're not really there to dry your hands.
Let me say this about towels, and you've probably heard me say this 1,000 times if I've said it once. I don't like towels when they're brand new.
Right.
They don't dry your hands, right? It's like,
you gotta break them in.
A towel has to kind of be a little bit dry.
Or if it's a big fluffy one, they leave all that lint on you. You ever get those? I hate that.
Something happens to a towel, I think, when you wash it and dry it one time. All of a sudden, like whatever the coating is on the material, it's gone. Like there's some sort of like sheen or something on the fabric. It doesn't dry the water off your hands.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Or even out of the shower.
How many times have I told you? Like, you go and get these expensive, like, crazy, some sort of Pima cotton bullshit, whatever, fancy-ass towels. We have them in the bathroom. They look beautiful. They're luxurious and thick. They don't get the water off of you.
What
I'm like,
give me
the old crunchy fucking shitty towel.
They
That's
take
the
off
fucking
the water.
Yeah, I want the crunchy one. I want the fucking old one that I've had for 10 years that you want to throw
like
out.
Strings on the edge.
No, it's like you throw out my fucking underwear too. They're comfortable, man. That's why I like them. They feel good. They feel good. They're fitted. They got like stretched in the right places, and you put them on. You don't even know they're on.
Yeah.
Same thing with a fucking towel. You go get a brand new towel. Yeah. It could be the most expensive towel. I don't care where you buy it. Buy it at fucking Saks Fifth Avenue. It could be a $300 towel.
Those are the ones that absorb the least.
It will not get the water off your body.
And those are the ones that leave the lint on you.
Yes.
Especially like if you haven't shaved your legs in a couple of days, and then it picks up all this nasty lint.
And I know when I shave my legs.
You do shave your legs. That's not trying to be funny, Mr. Masculine.
Not regularly, no. I buzz them. I use my beard trimmer.
Right.
Yeah. This way it gets like the bulk off, but they're not shaved.
Right.
Yeah, you still have some hair, but it's not like a jungle.
Right.
Because I got manly stuff going on.
Jungle boogie.
I got manly stuff happening.
You're manly.
I'm manly, baby.
Yeah. So, we need to like come up with like a universal solution for everybody who's got fancy towels in their guest bathroom to get like a real hand towel in addition to those, and like just fold it nice and lay it across the edge of the sink.
Yeah.
Or
Well-
keep it folded in a square and leave it on the counter.
Okay, so there's the other side of that whole thing. When you go into someone's bathroom and you see they have the fancy towels, right? And then they have like other towels, and then you got to wonder like which one like is everybody else using? Like there's a
because
thing.
sometimes they don't wash them. You can tell like this thing's been used quite a bit.
It's been used a lot. It's looking a little dirty. It's a little
Yeah.
So there's the other thing. Like I get a little bit like. It's like skeeved out a little bit. I don't know. We could have our towels in our bathroom for 2 weeks.
And
I don't give
care.
a shit. They're our towels, right? If there's any
I don't even care if you wipe your ass with it. I'm good.
If there's any funkiness on it, whatever, it's my funkiness.
Right, yeah.
It's something about, right? So, like,
Yeah.
it's funny, man. Yeah, I was just the same house we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
We were just in there, and I'm using, and I almost didn't want to use the towel because, A, they look really nice, but B, I know there's been a number of other people in that bathroom before me because there were other people over, and I was like,
You know, I've seen people have those, it's like a box of paper towels.
Yeah.
Like the disposable ones.
Yeah.
I've seen those here and there, not very frequently. I don't think they're popular.
It
is a great
idea. If you're having
idea.
company over.
A disposable towel.
Yeah, you put out like a nice like a paper disposable type of setup.
There's a solution, people.
Yeah.
Start buying it.
And then but here, hold on.
Amazon link.
See, there's a problem for
On our
every
website.
solution.
Okay, what's the problem?
I'm the guy that's going to find the problem for your solution.
Okay.
The problem is now people dry their hands with the paper towel and they throw it in the toilet and they flush it. And
Well,
now it
that's just
fucks
common
up.
sense,
Yeah,
like,
but
you don't do
some
that.
people don't have common sense.
I know.
Right?
Well, then you have to put a sign up, a
Oh,
post-it.
yeah,
you
write-
post
you
it,
write
or
the
I'll use my
sign,
brother
a
P
little
touch.
piece of paper, right?
Yeah, please dispose of towels in the garbage.
Yeah, please don't flush the paper towels.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So now you're getting into like
Now
a
you have
whole,
to put signs in
now
your
it's
toilet.
like there's really this has become like this is a major thing now, right? You got to go and find the paper towels. You got to have some sort of dispenser to put them in so they're not falling all over the place.
Right.
You have to print up a fucking sign, put it on the wall,
Yeah.
and hope that someone reads it and cares enough to not flush it. Now, if they do flush it down, now you got to like plunge the toilet. It's a whole.
You know what I've always wanted to do in my bathroom?
You know what? Here's a better idea. Don't use my bathroom. Just
Hold it. Just hold it in, please.
Fucking wait till you get home.
I know. Do you really have to go now? I used to, when I bought my own condo, I wanted to put a sign on the wall behind the toilet that says, if you're peeing and reading this, you should be sitting facing the other way. Oh God, I hated when like men would come over to and then pee and lift the lid because there's always a drip on the rim or drips on the floor.
Yeah.
And you know what? I understand shit happens. You know, like I understand if that's just your anatomy or nature, whatever. Wipe the fucking drips though.
Yeah.
Take a piece of toilet paper
I do.
and wipe off the drips.
I totally do. I take a piece of toilet paper and I wipe everything because I don't want to be the guy that like someone comes in behind me and they see that. Now
what if the guy before you left the drips and it wasn't you? Are you wiping his drips?
Now there's the problem. Like, what do you do?
Right.
Am I going to wipe?
You're gonna clean this
I'm gonna
person's
mop
toilet?
up someone else's piss
In someone else's toilet.
Right. Yeah. I'm cleaning someone else's piss off of somebody else's toilet just so I don't get blamed for being an animal that left it there.
Right. Is that what you do?
No, but I don't. You know, it's a weird thing.
It's a dilemma.
That's like when you walk into the bathroom and somebody blew it up right before you got in there, and then you walk out and someone is waiting, and like, oh. God.
And then when you leave, we got to be like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Oh yeah.
But usually, what's funny about that is it is you.
Well, if we're talking about me per se, actually me.
Usually, it's you.
Most likely, it was me. Yes. There's a very high probability that was me.
That's fucked up. Well, that's why I always keep the poopery in my bag.
Oh, God, you are a pain in the ass with the fucking poopery. I can't use any bathroom without you saying spray the poopery.
Because you try to pull one fast one on me and spray it after.
I feel like
gone.
saying like, all right, Mom, like I can't take.
I can tell the difference.
I can't take a dump.
Because that stuff works.
What's next?
It works so good that I know if you didn't do it.
You're gonna sit next to me and hold my hand while I take a shit? I mean, you know, come on.
If you sprayed poopery, I'd be happy to.
I do.
Because it works.
I do. I spray it.
Do you remember, like, back in the day when there was those video stores where you would have to actually like rent.
Oh, they had the
a
curtain.
porn.
They had
Yeah.
remember like
the curtain, the room in the back.
the adult room, right?
Yeah. So there was this
I
one.
recall one or two of those rooms myself.
Yeah, when there were like the VCR tapes,
Yeah.
I remember this one time. God, it was like a long fucking time ago because it was the VCR tapes. I was in my 20s, I think. And I was going into one of those places and I wanted to rent some porn.
Right.
So I was in the back room with the curtain and I'm perusing all of the videos. And the person I was with at the time, they liked some ass fucking video. So I was looking for some ass fucking video.
Nice.
So I found something like, like Ass Reamers 3 or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I find...
You should check out 1 and 2, though. 1 and 2 is actually really, it's even better. Kind of went downhill after 2.
So I found the video that I wanted to rent, right? So I take the video and I go into the front of the store and there's like a line of people.
You have the whole thing?
So I go to the counter and there's like people getting their videos, people behind me waiting to rent their videos. So I put the Ass Reamers 3 on the counter and the guy takes it and he goes and he gets the videotape, which is like in the amongst the selection behind the counter.
Right.
And he says to me, the next time you just pull the card out of the front of the case, you don't have to bring the whole case to the counter.
Ah, you had the whole box with the pictures and the name of the movie and everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Embarrassed. What's the story, dude?
The chick with the dick?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You made a reference that there was a chick with a dick story.
There was, yeah.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it right now.
I thank God I didn't get to the point where I actually got to see the dick, but this was a tranny, I guess, at some point. I was in a club with some people, and really good-looking chick, man. I mean, like, there's no fucking way you would ever know.
Was this in Vegas?
No, this was in New York.
Really?
It was in the city, yeah. And in fact, it was back in the day, like when Madonna was really like, super,
80s.
right, yeah. And this, I don't know if it was a costume thing, whatever, but this person, say girl, guy, whatever, was in like Madonna garb, right? Like totally, and smoking crazy hot. You were like, wow, the whole thing, the body, the boobs, the everything, right? And probably at that point, I was too young to really even know that this existed, but she was like coming on to me hard the whole night because I was there with the music and everything. And by the end of the night, I mean, it was this close to happening, let's just say that. And then somebody had come up at some point and said to me, that's a dude, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know that, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, why are you like, why are you letting him touch you? And I'm like, well, I didn't really, I'm trying to fucking make excuses. I didn't really know, because I didn't know. The truth is I had no idea. I was completely fooled. But if this person hadn't said something to me, I probably would have wound up, in a back room or maybe going home with her, him, whatever, and finding out the hard way. Hard way, get
Literally.
it? Yeah, get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary to how real, how perfect she looked. And, of course, since then, it's like, if you ever have, like, the question in your mind, you see somebody that looks, like, marginal, you're like, oh, it's got to be a dude or something. I had no clue whatsoever. I was completely fooled. Wow. So, yeah.
The Adam's apple didn't give it away?
No. Evan, I don't know. Maybe she had a bunch of, I don't know. For whatever it was, I didn't pick up on any single cue. Nothing.
Bulge in the pants?
Was there any kissing or touching or anything?
No, thank God, no.
Really?
No.
That wouldn't have been so terrible.
No, but no, she was definitely touching me though, like rubbing up on me or hand on me and that kind of thing. But nothing like to the point where we would say that we had sexual contact. But she was definitely.
The big question is,
yeah.
Were you getting turned on by it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh yeah, totally.
You're a homo.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. No, I didn't know. What was going on. I didn't know what was going on there, man.
How many people online? Skip is gay.
No, I'm not
gay. He said it.
I'm very secure.
Such a homophobe.
I'm very secure in my sexuality.
I think that's bad.
No, I'm very secure in my sexuality. But I got to say this: I was into it, man. Yeah, if I hadn't known,
well, why wouldn't you be?
If I had known, because I thought I didn't know. But the point is that I was completely fooled. I mean,
where do you draw the line then? Pre-op, really looking good like that. Kind of middle of the road where they're in transition, or
what do you mean draw the line? Like, pre-op, you still got a dick. What is it? How are we drawing the line there, Joe? No. That's on the wrong.
What are you gonna call? Ass buster.
That's on the wrong side of the line.
Okay, all right.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hang on.
This is something different from a bird bath?
The bird bath. It's puppetry of the penis.
Hold on.
Penis puppetry.
The cuckoo clock.
This one's the cuckoo clock. Now, you need to have balls like an old man. It's the only way you're going to do it is with old man balls. I don't
Check.
think Skip would be able to do it from everything that you've said.
No.
I don't think he'd be able
No, I
to do
have
it.
a tight- I have a
His
tight
balls, I can guarantee
Where-
you, without even ever having
Now,
seen
I don't
them,
know
his
if you
balls
can-
are
I have a
smaller
tight
than his
little
kid.
nut sack.
His sack is tighter than his 18-year-old kid. I know it.
I don't even know if you could picture this in your head if you haven't seen like an older fucking set of nuts. But what you have to do is
Look on the
you
back
take-
of all those pickup
you
trucks that
stretch-
have the
no,
balls
when you're
hanging.
nice and warm. When you're nice and warm,
And they hang
you
lower.
stretch, right, you hang lower. But the skin, especially on an old fuck like me, the skin just, you could stretch it out and it looks like a
You can make a
pizza
lampshade.
dough. Like pizza dough. And you could just if you wanted to, you could put some
lampshade.
sauce and cheese
Hitler
on
would have
it.
loved him.
It looked right, and then what you do is you take it, you stretch it out as far as you can down, right?
You stretch it straight down.
Straight down.
Okay.
And then you lift it up and cover, and you can actually get it up to your pubes.
You cover
Get it
your
up to
whole
elasticity.
junk?
So you cover your
Wow,
junk.
dude,
with
your fucking bag does hang low. You can actually cover your dick with your ball sack? Are you fucking kidding me?
It takes, I got big balls, man. It takes
Hold
a lot.
on.
It takes a lot
Wait,
of
not
skin.
only but you cover your pubes too?
Not quite the pubes.
That
It
thing's like
actually
a
only
fucking
gets-
umbrella.
It actually only gets to the point where you can cover cover
The base.
junk, cover the shaft and the head.
Right.
But what you do is you kind of with the you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
No.
You can kind of open the front. And just the head of your dick falls out, and you go cuckoo. You open and close it.
What the fuck?
So it kind of looks like this, like cuckoo.
Oh my god! I just had a vision of you taking
man.
a Sharpie and putting 2 dots on it for eyes and going peekaboo, peekaboo.
Oh my god.
That's called the cuckoo clock.
That's
That goes right along the
fucking
bird
awesome. There you go. Right. If you listen to the earlier episodes, you know about the bird
That's
bath
yes,
too.
and that's a poor man's puppet show.
Well, hey, whatever gets
Actually,
you through
it's
the
a poor
day,
woman's
man.
puppet show. Poor Carol. It's poor Carol.
The entertainment you provide is just really
Honey, come here, I came up
subpar.
with a new one. We're not responsible for you.
Yeah, you have to check your shit, but we're not responsible for
Right.
it. Fucking
What?
assholes. Yeah, it really fucking pisses me off.
Especially JetBlue. Oh, they needed the money. JetBlue. Little JetBlue. He needed the money.
Oh, I get it. Hickory dickory
Little
dock.
boy blue. Oh! Hickory dickory dock. Some
my
chicken
cock.
sucking my cock.
Oh God, you too.
Oh, stop moving your ass. The ashtray almost fell off.
That was almost Archie Bunker.
I know,
Oh,
right?
it was right.
Hey, it is.
You have so many good.
Oh, Archie.
Oh God, you're so good. I swear to God, you do so many good voices.
Stifle it, Edith.
Wow.
I'm a stifle it.
How the fuck
He
do
just
you
look
do
at it
that?
like stifle it.
I do one really good.
Dude, could you imagine saying
I don't
to
think he
Carol?
said it. I think
could
he
you
said
imagine looking
stifle.
at Carol and saying stifle it?
And calling his son-in-law meathead. You're a meathead.
I'm saying that to you next time you piss me off. Stifle it.
The only really good
You see
impression
what
that I
happens
do-
to you next time you
and this
try
is the most bizarre. This is the most bizarre impression for anybody to do. But it's like almost a cross between Stimson J. Cat.
What the fuck is that?
That's
Oh, it's Stimpy.
and
Oh.
Larry Fine.
Hey,
from the
Ren!
Three- Larry Fine from the Three Stooges. Here we go. This is This is all I got. It's probably the best one.
Let me hear it.
Oh boy, Mo, we're all gonna be rich.
Wow, that's fucking good, dude.
I don't know what
That's
that
good.
is.
That's
I
been-
was up on the towers at Woodstock and I tie-dyed my hair.
dude. That's a
Curly
cross between Stimpy and Curly.
Oh, that's Larry Fine.
I mean Larry, right?
Curly's-
Yeah. All right, yeah. Oh, one shy, eh?
This guy, eh?
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
you knucklehead.
Oh boy.
Get over here, porcupine.
Whoa, whoa.
All right, I
Wait,
got
Stimpy.
nothing.
Wait, you had Stimpy in there somewhere, right?
You guys got to see the visual on this. Two fucking retards.
Oh, boy, Rand. Stimpy, you idiot. Who remembers Ren and Stimpy, man? That was the shit, dude.
Ren and Stimpy was great.
I was never into that.
You're one of the good ones, Stimpy.
Stimpy, you idiot.
Oh, boy, Ren.
Just got to throw "oh boy" before anything.
Yeah,
Oh, boy,
yeah,
Skip.
before everything. All right, Bedell, what do you got?
Oh fuck! You know, you got me all thrown. Like I was like in a total daze.
You lost your whole train of thought?
I totally did.
Don't make me bust into Beavis and Butthead. Then the whole fucking thing will be...
No, you know what? Actually, since we had like a strange. Oh God, he's doing it with the.
I am called Julio. I need to be my bunghole.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. I got to get the visual on that for the fucking people to see what the
video.
fuck
Hold
you're
on.
doing.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
All right, don't worry, people. I'm taking a picture for the website.
I am called Julio. I need to be my bunghole. Do you have pee in my bunghole?
You idiot.
Are you threatening me?
Okay.
You might want to get
All right,
this
you guys want to see
visual.
the idiocy,
Sit down,
please do.
front lunch.
Go to our website, hammerandnailspodcast.com is where you can get all the episodes.
Settle down, asswipe.
What is the thinking behind not popping a pimple that is so ready to be popped?
Really?
You ever talk to somebody and they got like a big poppable pimple on their face and like, what the fuck? Did you not notice that? Don't you feel that? Like, why happen? Why do you know what I mean? There's a big difference between looking at a ready pimple and one that's just like a red, blemish.
What's disgusting is when you see somebody with a pimple that's gone to the stage of whitehead.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about.
this big white,
That's what I'm
pussy,
talking about.
pustule,
Yes.
pus-filled, pus.
Yes.
Peter Papa.
That's what I'm talking about. Why would somebody leave it in that
Pus
stage?
It's the Pus Pockets. Dude, that's a new Saturday Night Live fucking
I
skit
think
right
that's
there.
going to be the name. I think that's going to be the name of tonight's podcast.
Pus Pockets.
Pus Pockets.
Dude, that sounds so horribly disgusting. Fucking Pus Pocket.
So
Can you
disgusting.
do it at that pitch? Wait, can you go, Pus Pockets?
Pus Pockets.
1, 2, 3. Pus Pockets. That was awesome. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. Pus Pockets.
Wow, 3-part harmony on that. Holy crap.
Somebody isolate that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't understand what the thinking is behind that. Like when you look in the mirror, are you thinking it looks better with that white on it, or it looks better than if you popped it? Like what is the thinking? Why
Well,
wouldn't
you could take a look at me, and under my beard, you could see why people don't pop pimples. And I know because as a kid, I had horrible skin.
Oh, so
had
did I.
terrible skin.
I did too.
Well, scars. I mean, you're gorgeous, but you see little tiny pock marks.
Yeah.
It happens. I could tell Skip was one of those guys, never had a pimple in his
No,
life.
I'm not talking
no,
about
I did.
I'm just talking about like when you've got
yeah, but not
a
like
pimple.
crazy bad.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I had bad.
it's a whole
I
other
fall
condition.
Down, here,
Yeah.
down in here.
I mean, I was on Accutane for a while. It was so
Yeah,
bad. I used to have really
Anthony was on
bad
that. My brother's on
cystic
that.
acne. It was bad.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like when you just have a pimple
Yeah.
and it's like ready to pop.
I had one on the side of my nose the other day. I was like,
I hate
"No!"
that. Oh my god! When you get that one right on the edge of your
Oh,
nose.
yeah,
It was
hurts.
a pus pocket.
One more time, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Pus pockets. I had to get rid of it.
Fucking hurt, man.
You know
oh
what I
my
used to
God.
do?
If you try to squeeze that thing, you're like, ah.
What about blackheads? Blackheads were always freak me out because I kept I'm a clean guy. I always washed my face. I was like very proactive when it came to like keep my face clean. And you would, as a kid, you just got to get a fucking blackhead. There would be sometimes like you got a blackhead in the crease
Oh
of your
yeah,
nose.
right in the sides there.
And the only way to get it would be to take a fucking bobby pin. And you use the loop end of a bobby pin and just like press on it. It's like it's the poor man's blackhead extractor.
No, I was always
work.
the two fingers always
work,
worked
right?
good for me. Oh God.
It was hard, but no, it's but if back then you had pretty good vision too, so I could get close to the mirror and see exactly what this little white pussy party snake.
Oh God!
Squirming out of my fucking nose crease.
Snake.
A little party snake squirming out of your nose crease through a fucking black bobby pin. It would be like it looked like an inchworm with a black head. It looked like a little Obama inchworm. It was goddamn disgusting.
Wow, man. This is disgusting. Wow. If you use both fingers, there's a bunch of them coming out at one time.
Piece of shit.
Oh God.
A Democratic liberal piece of fucking pussy worm. Goddamn, coming out of my face.
What was the thing?
Pus pockets.
Ready? Here we go.
Pus pockets. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Pus pockets.
What was the thing with the what was it? Play-Doh or whatever? That you put through the machine, it comes out in a bunch of little was it Play-Doh?
Yeah,
it was like an indication of things to come.
Fun Factory.
The Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Yeah. You stick the thing of Play-Doh.
It's like a little fucking miniature Play-Doh Fun Factory coming out of the crease of your fucking nose. This little white fucking party snake with a black head on it.
Wow. A white party snake with a black head on it. All right.
Yeah, so I'm just going to let y'all know, if you happen to end up with a big pimple and it's ready to pop, people, pop it.
Pop it.
Pop it. It's not better to leave it. It's not.
Just pop it.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Just pop it.
We are so stupid.
So here's what you get when you tune into Hammer and Nails. A bunch of fucking babbling idiots talking about popping pimples. That's great. Say hi to everybody, Carol.
Green tea. That's my girl. That's my girl, Carol.
Wow. Hold on a second. Let me sample this tea here.
Yeah.
What? Yell louder, honey.
Peanut butter cookies?
Peanut butter cookies?
Yes, please.
What do you got? You got?
Okay, just burnt my tongue.
No.
Holy fucking shit, that's hot.
Yeah, that's way hot.
Holy fucking shit, I just put my tongue on fire.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I love a mouthful of seared flesh.
Oh God. You know,
Joe's about to pass out from whatever poison was put in his
That's
tea.
it. Carol.
Hey, Joseph, you
Carol
take.
dosed
No. You take this one, Joseph.
she turned the whole tray around and made sure
it'll be
that
a
he
creepy
reached for
scene
that one.
later. It'll be like, one of those drugs that doesn't affect you for an hour.
Yeah,
and
right.
later on, I'll be laying in bed, and all of a sudden, I'll go numb, completely paralyzed.
Yeah.
And all I see is Carol's face standing over me going, "See, I told you shouldn't mess with
Remember when you gave me a hard time because I wanted to go out and smoke my cigarettes?
You see, Joseph,
Remember?
next time you'll keep your fucking mouth shut.
Well, maybe. No. Not even. Then she'll be like, well, maybe next time you'll think about it before you say anything. Just maybe.
Dude, you do a really good Carol.
I know.
Oh, wait. That's if you live through this. Okay. Good night, babe.
You bastard.
Yeah.
Tip Tuesday!
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedells.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
Josh Liebman asked, if you just had a new sliding door put in and now when it rains, the inside floor on one side gets wet, what is the proper fix? It's a concrete floor base with tile on top. The contractor keeps throwing more foam at the bottom outside, and seems to think it will fix it. I have my doubts.
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple of reasons why it could be leaking, but most likely it was not flashed properly around the bottom of that door. So when you put the door in, it needs to be installed on a pan, and it also needs to have silicone along the bottom of that door to seal it up. And if those things weren't done, it's going to allow the water to sneak in underneath that door sill. There's probably an aluminum door sill, I'd imagine, on that sliding door. Most of them have that, depending upon the brand, or they might be vinyl coated. But underneath that plate of metal, that sill, it's sitting on top of your concrete slab. Typically, we will have a pan that goes underneath that is mounted up along the studs and sits underneath the door, and it has like a piece of flashing, like a lip that comes up behind it that prevents the water from coming underneath it. In addition to that, we also put a couple of beads of silicone underneath that. So moisture should not be coming in under the door. So I'm thinking that he didn't install the door properly, and he's trying to throw some foam at it now instead of just taking it out and reinstalling it the right way. So I would...
When he says contractor, I'm thinking he means handyman.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking you should give him us his name. Maybe we'll get him on the show. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So,
it sounds like it wasn't installed properly.
Thank you. James Norton said, I put some holes in my walls at my apartment hanging shelves.
Spackle advice, please. I'm scared they will charge a lot when I move out next month.
Yeah, you can get some quick dry spackle. They'll sell it usually in the paint department of any of the hardware stores or your big box stores, and the stuff sets up real quick. It actually even comes with an applicator, which looks like a spackle knife if you don't have a spackle knife. This stuff is already pre-mixed in the container. You wipe it off, wipe it on rather, and then just take it right off with that applicator, and it'll leave just a smooth finish. Most of the time you don't even have to sand it. If you do, just go back with a sponge afterwards after it dries, and that'll fill in the hole. Assuming that you don't have like major damage, major dents and holes, and if that's the case, then you'll probably have to put a patch over it. But if they're just like nail holes, you should be able to get away with it. Michelle Mertz.
Love you, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle's awesome, man. She's always right. We love her. Her and Curtis. What's up, Curtis?
Hey, what's up, Quana?
Oh, yeah.
Love me some Quana.
All right, Michelle Mertz. They say that our back door has a rubber seal at the bottom that is starting to deteriorate. Is this something that we can easily remove and replace, or will it require removal of the whole door, etc.? Okay. In most cases, the easiest way to get off the weather stripping that comes factory installed on the bottom of your exterior entry door, you're going to need to take the door off the hinges, which is really just a matter of popping out the 3 or 4 hinges, the pins, and taking the door off. Lay the door on a set of horses, or you can even, just set it up on its edge, and you'll be able to see the bottom of that door has a weather stripping piece that, from the picture that you sent me, and most stores have this set up now, they have either 2 or 3 fins. They kind of look like a compression fin. It's like a thin, narrow tab that has a bunch of little fins on it, and they press up inside of the slots. They fit right inside of the slot that holds that compression fin in. So if you put a screwdriver underneath one end or something flat that you could pry up one end of it, you should be able to peel that whole strip right off the door. In most cases, you can go to like a Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and in the door and window section, you'll find weather stripping and, door seals. And you'll find one that matches what you have there. If not, you can look on the edge of the door, on the hinge side of the edge of the door. There should be a manufacturer's label. Go right online to their website, and you can find a replacement weather stripping for the bottom of that door. Now, for some reason, if you have a problem and you can't find that, they also make aftermarket, which kind of look like a U-shaped channel. They just slide right onto the bottom of the door, and you set a couple of screws in it. It all comes in a package, so probably about $15, and that will be a replacement weather stripping for the bottom of your door. There you go.
Tip Tuesday!
Okay, Pete Corbett asked a question that I think you may have answered a while back, but I guess for new listeners or people who didn't hear the answer, including him, his question is, I'm a painter and have to strip wallpaper from time to time. What are Skip's tips on the best way to do it and to prepare for paint?
Okay. Well, there's a couple different ways you can do it. One of which I will tell you is very effective, and the pros use it. It's a steam machine that you will actually use to steam the surface of the paper, and it'll loosen up the glue, and you can peel the paper off. You can rent those machines at any tool rental place. Home Depot has a tool rental. I think they probably rent them for like $20 a day or $20 or $30 a day. Not very expensive to rent it, and they're very effective. They work really great. The other way that you can do that, there are chemicals that will actually break down the glue that holds the paper to the wall. One of the chemicals that I'm familiar with is called DIF. I believe it's DIF or DIFF. I'm not sure if there's 2 Fs in that.
I think it's 1 F.
1 F, right? Yeah. DIF works really good. It comes with a like a perforator. It's like a little tool you hold in your hand, and it has a bunch of little kind of like pins on it. And you basically run that over the wall, and you perforate the paper, and then you go back and you spray this DIF chemical on it, and it's actually enzymes that will go through the top layer of paper that you've perforated, and then also it breaks down the glue that's underneath that. And after a short period of time, you can just peel the paper right off the wall, and the glue kind of becomes almost like slimy. And then you can take it comes with like a flat, almost like a spackle knife, like a flat edge.
Yeah.
And you just wipe the glue right off. Once you get that down, then you can, you let it dry, and you'll be able to prepare the walls. You can, put a primer over it. You definitely want to prime it after you get all that glue off of there, and then you'll be ready for paint.
This is also actually a good opportunity for me to remind people that we have the website, hammerandnailspodcast.com, where they can listen to the podcast. But on that website is also, you go to the page with the episode summaries. That is where I include the clickable links for the products that you talked about, so people can just
go find them easily. If they need to use that kind of a product, they can find it and just click on it and buy it right there on Amazon.
Yeah.
That makes it super simple.
Diff is great. I've used it many times, and the stuff really, really works well. I've actually seen people actually paint over wallpaper, and that's not the thing you want to do. A lot of times when people wallpaper, it's you don't see too much of it anymore. You really don't see very much wallpaper anymore.
It's kind of coming back a bit though, because it's not like the old style like from the 70s and 80s, but there's some nice wallpaper if applied in the right place.
Yeah,
and the right paper.
Absolutely. I think
really
if it's done right,
it's just such a pain in the dick to remove.
Well, is it actually a pain in the dick? More in the dick than the balls, or the ass?
Yeah,
it's just the whole lower area, right? Dick, balls,
it's
ass.
Just, it's a pain. It's a pain equivalent to any pain you might feel down in the private area.
It's a lot of pain below the belt.
Yes.
Yeah. In the general vicinity.
Yeah. You can liken it to that kind of pain.
Yes, in all those areas.
Yeah.
So try out Diff. That would be a great solution. And if not, you want to go the steam, non-chemical way. You can go and rent a steamer. They'll give you instructions on how to use it right there. It's actually pretty easy to use, and that's also a really effective way to get that paper off. But if you're a painter, then you'll know as soon as you get that paper off and you get the glue off, then you're definitely going to want to get a good primer on there so your paint has something to bite onto.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Matt Banish, I think it's Banizek. Best sealer for basements.
Best sealer for basements. My experience, the best sealer for basements, hands down, is Dry Lock. It's a product that you can get in your hardware store, anywhere they sell paints. You can get it in Depot and Lowe's, all those good places. Dry Lock is the name of the product. It's basically a product that when rolled onto or brushed onto any sort of cement or masonry, it will seal that surface. It'll seal up all the pores in the surface and make it very difficult for any water to penetrate that. So whenever we're finishing basements or any sort of concrete slab or anything of that nature, we always apply Dry Lock to it, a couple of coats of Dry Lock on it will make a huge difference. It keeps all the moisture from getting through the concrete, because concrete, as you may or may not know, is not waterproof. A lot of people think, if you have a concrete surface, it's going to be waterproof, but it's not. Moisture will find its way through. It'll weep through concrete and certainly find its way through cracks. So if you're finishing a basement or garage or anything that has concrete in it, you're going to want to go ahead and seal up all the cracks first, and then Dry Lock that whole space before you paint or do anything else. Even if you're going to frame and put walls up or insulate or whatever you want to do, make sure that you Dry Lock it. Stuff works awesome.
Okay. The next question is from David Christopher Passy. I need to make a cheap wheelchair ramp into the puppy room of the house I rented for service pets for vets. That's a very nice organization. How is the best way to do that? What wood should I use if I go to Lowe's or the Home Depot?
Are we talking about an exterior ramp
and he says he wrote,
outside the building?
I don't know. He wrote one step. Now, I don't know. Oh, he said outdoor. It's an outdoor ramp, but he said one step. So I'm guessing he only needs it one step high.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Otherwise, I was going to say there's really not a cheap handicap and a wheelchair ramp. I mean, they've got to be built properly. It should have concrete footings. It's got to be very stable. If you go onto the ADA website, there'll be ADA regulations and guidelines on how to build a proper wheelchair accessible ramp. Being that you're only going 1 foot, or one step up, it's going to be a lot easier for you to build because you're not covering over a big grade and a big, decline. But you're definitely going to want to follow those guidelines, because if anybody should happen to get hurt on that thing, even if it's one step, it's a nightmare. And that's
why. Or as Skip said before we started recording, you're fucked.
Yes, because the last thing you need is someone who's already handicapped to fall off this thing and mess up some other part of their body and then have some colossal lawsuit and everything else. So yeah, you want to go onto the ADA website and look for wheelchair accessible ramp construction guidelines. It's a page very easy to find. They will tell you exactly how wide it should be and all the different things that you need to adhere to make the thing up to code and limit your liability should anybody have a problem with it. That being said, if it's going to be outside, of course you're going to want to use wood to frame it. That's going to be you want to hold up to the weather. So you'd want to use a pressure treated type wood or something that's going to hold up well to the elements. And to put a surface on it, I would go with some sort of composite material rather than a wood surface that'll hold up well to rain and any weather and things like that. It's not going to break down. It'll last much longer if it's composite decking or something of that nature. You're also going to want to have, even though it's only a foot up, you'll probably, and again, this is why you're going to want to check those guidelines, but you're going to see if it needs to have some sort of handrail or safety rail on the outside of it. I'd imagine, even though it's only one step, because of the people that's going to be using it, specifically, people will have a hard time getting up that one step.
Right.
They're going to need something to hold on to.
Right.
That railing also has to be at a proper height, and there's a lot of guidelines there that you need to follow. It's really important. So that would be my best advice to you. I have built a few ADA ramps, and that's the first thing I did. I consulted that website to make sure that everything was done properly.
Yeah, and you also built that bathroom with all that safety railing.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I've built many, many bathrooms in my day, and some of them were handicap accessible bathrooms, and there's very, very specific guidelines on how high, how wide, how big, the dimensions of everything, the type of materials you have to use, handrails in certain locations and the placement and the height of them, and within a certain reach if you're at the sink and the toilet, and there's a million different things that you wouldn't even think of. And if it's not done right, if anybody gets hurt on it, it's a big problem. But mainly if it's not done right and it gets inspected, you will have to rip it all out and redo it. So save yourself a lot of trouble and get it done right the first time, and check out that website.
Okay. Dave Roth, what kind of issues will arise this spring if I made repairs during this frigid-ass Rocky Mountain winter?
Frigid-ass weather is not usually the best time to make repairs. Obviously, if you have to make repairs, it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Some repairs just have to be made right now. If you can avoid making structural repairs, things like doors and windows and things like that are moving, especially that have moving parts like doors and windows, during the extreme heat or cold, it's better to do that if you can wait. But if not, what you're going to experience, especially when building in the cold as opposed to the heat, is that when the weather warms up, whatever it is that you built is going to expand. The openings are going to basically close up. The whole building will expand. So, for instance, if you frame a door and you hang a door in the cold weather, what's going to happen is that you leave that gap all the way around the door, say it's 3/16 or a quarter of an inch all the way around the door. When the hot weather comes, that door frame is going to swell up, and you're going to have the door's going to stick. It's not going to want to open and close properly. Same thing with windows. So whenever we do work in the cold with siding, roofing, windows, doors, anything like that, we always leave an allowance for the temperature. And for instance, even with siding, if you look on the back of vinyl siding, a lot of siding products, they actually have a temperature gauge on the back of that product. So if material is overlapping itself, it'll tell you within this temperature range, install it this close together. And because what happens is that, say for siding, for instance, perfect example, you nail up vinyl siding on the building, or any type of siding for that matter, and when the building gets hot, if it was installed in the cold, when the building gets hot, all the fasteners that hold that siding to the building are going to hold firm. They're going to stay where they are, but the siding is going to want to expand with the house. And if you ever looked at siding, you've seen it has big waves in it. It looks like it goes in and out every couple of feet.
Yeah.
That's because the nails of the screws are holding tight to the house, but the rest of the material is expanding.
Right.
And they didn't leave enough room on that fastener or on that gap for expansion and contraction. Same thing with a door or a window. So if you're going to gap that door, let's say 3/16 or an eighth of an inch or quarter, whatever you're gapping it, gap it a little bit bigger in the wintertime, in the cold weather, because that gap is going to close up rapidly when the weather warms up. And then you're going to have a problem with that door sticking.
Baby, I love your brain so much.
Trust me, I learned from making mistakes.
Well,
I learned the hard way. You know?
Good.
Not everybody has someone to teach them. It's like that with a lot of things. There are a lot of things that you can learn, but also some things you have to learn on the job. And that's one of the things that you learn from installing things for decades. Yeah. That there's a right way and the wrong way to do it. When it comes to doing stuff in the cold weather, there's definitely two different ways to do it. Yeah. One is going to cause you problems when it warms up, and one won't.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go, Dave.
There it is.
Mark Hanbo asked about, he said he has a fig tree in front of his house. It's nice for shade, but a pain because it drops a lot of leaves all over the place in the fall. Me too.
I wonder if he's actually he's getting figs off of it. Are there like fig trees, like some like like apple trees that don't actually give you like apples that you can really eat?
I don't know. I don't know
like
about
crab apple. What's the point of a fucking crab apple, right? Like,
I don't even know what that is. I just know that there was Little Rascals. There was a Mrs. Crabapple.
Yeah, remember her? That
bitch. So he said, I suspect that the root structure is raising one of the large concrete blocks that forms a walkway from my driveway to my front door. Is it possible to remove this root yet preserve the tree, or am I better off removing the entire tree? Finally, is this a DIY job, or do I just need to fork over some cash for a professional arborist? I think I can contribute to this answer as well.
My suggestion right there, especially if it's a fruit-bearing tree and you want to preserve that tree, if you care about the tree at all, you're going to have to think very hard about cutting out a major root like that. Some trees will not respond well to it, and some will survive depending upon how vital that root itself is.
And it's so hard to know. And once you take it out, it's too late. And within days, your tree will start to die.
Well, yes. Every tree roots differently. Some have, like pine trees, for instance. We have a lot of pines around our property, and they root very shallow. The roots are very close to the top of the ground. Other trees root straight down and very deep into the ground, right? So those aren't roots that are going to become a problem. But for trees that root shallow and toward the surface of the ground, some of the main roots are up toward the surface, sometimes only a few inches below the ground. And if you cut those out, for whatever reason, you put it in a fence or you put it in a driveway or whatever, there's a very good chance if you take out too many of them, the tree will not survive. So, in fact, we experienced that here when we were doing some excavation. When we first bought this house a number of years ago, we excavated the whole property and put in in-ground sprinklers and lighting and landscaping and berms and all kinds of stuff. And we had these huge, like 100-foot pine trees all around our property. And one of them did not survive that process because I was out there with a bobcat, like digging. I dug up like probably 2 feet down deep and then repositioned all that dirt. And I did dig up a number of roots with that because the pines root, pretty shallow.
Yeah.
So like one out of those 6 big trees back there is now dying, and I suspect it's because of the work that I did back there. So if it's a tree that you care about and you want to preserve it, I would invest a little bit of money, look up a local arborist online, find one that's licensed and certified, not just somebody calling themselves an arborist, and have them come by. And they'll probably charge you, $100 or whatever to take a look at the thing, and then give you a price on what it's going to take to either cut that root the right way or possibly even relocate the tree.
Yeah, because it's really, you're taking such a risk by cutting any of it, because it's like one of those things, once you do it, it's too late. You can't undo it. So if you care about the tree, it's almost better to either just deal with the concrete issue. If you can change your pathway, maybe if there's any way that aesthetically that would look okay for you to move it.
Well, if not that, I'd first get the opinion of an arborist, because chances are that he might come in
but
and
I'm
say,
saying if it's not something that can be cut.
This particular species of tree, we can cut some surface roots and it's not going to hurt it because the main trunk of these roots go down deep into the ground.
Were you listening to what I said?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm saying if you can't cut the tree, an alternative would be to move your path.
Yes, after he determines that, no, you can't cut this root out, then you got to make a decision. Either you're going to move the tree or you're going to cut the root out and you're going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Amy Davidson wants me to ask you, I have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom that sometimes have electricity, sometimes not. The rest of the house is okay. What gives?
That could be a problem there, Amy. All right, so you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom that sometimes have electricity and sometimes don't. Okay, sounds to me like they're all on the same circuit. First. It's probably an older house that probably has a limited amount of circuits, and that's what they did back then, back in the 40s and 50s and before really the electrical codes really changed to where now you have to almost separate everything. You probably have a couple of bedrooms and that bathroom on the same circuit. So here's what it could be. You could have a bad breaker, a faulty breaker that has a bad contact in it. And breakers do go bad from time to time, so you might have to open up your panel and find out which one operates those rooms. Shut them all on and off and figure out when the lights go off in the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom, that's the breaker. And that breaker itself might be faulty, so that might need to be changed, especially if it's an intermittent problem.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's Breaking Bad. Yeah. Oh, wow. And the other thing is that, again, being that the bathroom and the bedrooms are evidently on the same line, what people tend to do over the years in these older houses, they try to bring them up to code, and they will put in a GFCI receptacle in the bathroom, which now is code for when we build, new construction that has to be wired like that from the start. But now these older receptacles, you remember before they even had the 3 holes with the ground, right? Mm-hmm. Now the GFCIs that have a little breaker button on it, they have to be anywhere near any wet location in your bathroom, in your kitchen.
Right.
So a lot of people now will go and buy one of those in the hardware store, and they'll wire it up to their older, antiquated electrical system. What might be happening is that bathroom might have been the first room on that line. So the power comes through that receptacle, and then it daisy chains to the next bedroom, and then the next bedroom.
Right. I remember when we were wiring the attic.
Yes.
Right.
So if that's the case, then that GFCI would be the first thing to trip on that line. So if that GFCI tripped, it would cut the power to all the other things.
The subsequent things that it was wired
so
to after.
It sounds like all those rooms are on the same circuit, and somewhere along the way you got something that's getting ready to crap out. So
yeah, call an electrician.
Call an electrician is your best bet, especially if you're not familiar with what it is that I'm talking about. If this all sounds like Chinese, Amy, call an electrician because you're going to want to get electrocuted.
Yeah, it's nothing you can fix yourself.
What's a C4 in GFCI? Are those just GFI?
Ground fault circuit interrupt.
Ground fault interrupt.
So smart.
We're back.
Yeah. So what'd you think? That was fun, right? A little Memorial Day, what would you say, compilation of
Yes.
of
That's
stupidity?
a big word for you.
Yeah, compilation of idiocy.
It kind of was. It was a little bit of flashback to Joe and some of the tips that you guys might have missed if you weren't listening to the earlier episodes.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be back on Friday with some fresh new stuff, and we would love it if you guys would contribute. Go on to Facebook or Twitter. Make sure to ask us some questions or bring up a topic that you might want us to discuss, anything that you could possibly think of. Don't forget our hammerandnailspodcast.com.
Check out the website. Tell your friends. Spread the love of Hammer and Nails Podcast.
And don't forget that we have an Amazon banner at the top of every web page on our website. If you can please click on that, drag it up to your bookmark bar in your internet browser. We would really appreciate that. It helps us out so much. And we really appreciate you guys listening again.
Thanks for coming back. We'll see you soon.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.